Alright, well, here we are again, guys. Episode number 8 of What I Got This Week. So, of course, we begin by saying, welcome back! Alright, so everyone, thank you so much for all the kind words. The show's going along great. This week's episode is going to be just a comic book oriented episode, no special editions, because next week, a little bit of spoiler, we should have some Captain Marvel special clips. I was able to win some tickets to the K-Rock Captain Marvel Rocks event. I'm going to see a Q&A with the cast. I'm going to see a couple of bands. Going to see an advanced screening. So that's going to come up in the next episode of What I Got This Week. All right, but for this week, so much to begin with. First of all, this was a massive week, which is a lot for a fifth Wednesday of the month. So there were over 19 issues for me to sift through this week. Of those, I had to pick the best. I had the top 5, but there's a couple to throw in there first. I want to throw in this honorable mention, a couple of shout-outs as well. First, the shout-out. This one goes out to Punk's Not Dead. Punk's Not Dead, London Calling is a new independent comic book that just came out. It's from Black Crown Publishing. And whenever I see a new issue from an indie publisher, I like to promote it because this is where a lot of the original stories come from. And it's some great art, some avant-garde stories. This one is overall not bad. I like it. So a shout-out to Punk's Not Dead. And an honorable mention also, which I had to throw out there for Superior Spider-Man number 3. I reviewed this one in a previous episode of What I Got This Week, and it's just getting better and better. I didn't want to throw in the top 5 because it's a great issue, but I wanted to get the top 5 for what I really feel were amazing, groundbreaking, blown away issues for the week. So, let's get started then. Number 5 for the week. What do we have? We have Outcast number 39. Now, in this particular issue, what we have here is that things are getting pretty bad for Reverend Anderson. The great merge is about to happen, and the Outcast, as we know, is gaining strength, but so are the others. So what's going to be happening here is that we basically have some kind of massive Armageddon, a massive battle between good and evil. They're both getting more powerful. It's a lot of build-up in this issue, but Robert Kirkman, who of course does The Walking Dead and Oblivion Song and now Outcast, he knows what he's doing, and so it's going to be a really good issue. It is a good issue. It's going to be a great story arc. We don't know where it's going to go, but Kirkman does. So let's see where it takes us. It's number 5 for the week. All right, number 4 for the week. What do we have? We have The Amazing Spider-Man, number 16. This is a prelude to The Hunted. Now, who do we have there? We have Kraven the Hunter. He is by far one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. The man here is he's basically a beast who's going out there trying to kill Spider-Man because it's the ultimate hunt. In this particular one, we have the Sinister Six have been captured. We have Kraven who's trying to work with the enemy. We have clones of his DNA being made into his own children. It's bonkers, but it's a good issue. It's a good prelude. I'm just excited to what's going to happen in the actual Hunted story arc. So we'll see what happens. All right. Number 3 for the week. What do we have? We have Flash number 65. This actually is a gorgeous cover. Now, who is this we have right here? That's Gotham Girl. Now, Flash number 65 is combining a lot that's been happening in the DC universe. So, Gotham Girl was introduced by Tom King in the reboot of Batman number 1. And since then, it's part of an even bigger storyline that we're still trying to figure out with Bane. This was a 4-part series, you can see, called The Price of Loyalty. And it was kind of an in-between what's been going on since Dark Knight's Metal, also since the events of Heroes in Crisis, the possible death of Wally West. It's a good connecting episode. All we know really is that apparently Bruce does not trust Barry. We'll see where that leads, but it's a great issue. All right, number 2 for the week. Well, we're getting to number 1,000 for Batman, guys. But here we go. Batman number 999. I called it. This was where the end of the storyline did go, actually. So we left off before. We had Leslie Tompkins, who had been killed off. Alfred, who had been severely destroyed. This new villain who can shapeshift. Turns out It was actually a simulation. Now, some people can say, oh my god, that's a cheap ending there. How could they do a Batman like it was a dream? Yes, but you see what happens is apparently Batman every year challenges himself because he needs to figure out how to defeat everything and anything. He needs to be able give his own life away. Who is this? This is him as basically a young Bruce Wayne in the Batman, because when his parents died in Crime Alley, there was actually a third victim as well. It was little Bruce. And since then, he is not afraid of death because he has to face it every day so that others don't live through what he lived through. I like the way they did it. It was well done. It was a good way to conclude story arc, to explain a lot of things. It's one of those things where you figure only Batman can defeat Batman, and even then, he couldn't do it. So issue number 1000, coming up in a few days, is going to be a massive, multi-written, multi-layer extravaganza. I can't wait. It's going to be like 10 different covers. I'm getting at least 6 of them, so see what that looks like. Number 1 for the week, though, guys, what do we have? Heroes in Crisis, number 6. So here we have a cover of Harley. This is from Sanctuary, and we get more answers here, actually. We start to figure out that Wally West is dead. Wally West may have done what happened because he cannot live in a world where his children don't exist. He was pulled out of this time stream. He is trying to figure out where he belongs in all of this. He feels torn. He would rather destroy the universe in a way than not have his children. And as a father, I can absolutely understand that. This was a great issue. There's just 3 more to go, 7, 8, and 9. And Tom King is just destroying everything in his path with this. Mitch Gerard's, by the way, amazing art as well. So this is my number 1 for the week. All right. So, classic comic review for the week. What do we have? Well, we have a Superman one. Specifically, what do we have? We have Red Sun. Now, this is an interesting take. It's a what if on the Superman stories, as in what if he landed in the Soviet Union and not in America? He becomes a communist hero. As you can see here, they build monuments in his honor. They turn his Superman S into the hammer and sickle. He is a fighter for the people, but at the same time, he is not a pawn for the Soviet government. He still stands in a way for truth and justice. Maybe not the American way, but the human way. DC does a lot of good what-ifs. In terms of the DC animation, they did a story called Gods and Monsters, where Superman was actually raised by an Hispanic Mexican family, and changing his backstory. This is a what-if. This is not our canon story. It's a great what-if. We even have a Russian Batman who swings through the night in Moscow. I loved it. It's a great story. It's not the absolute best. You have to know a little bit of the Cold War. You have to know a little bit of DC and Superman. Look at this right here. Some gorgeous images. But overall, I love it. In fact, I would give this a 4.5 out of 5 wigs. So, Superman, Red Sun. All right, we're almost done for the week, guys. Lastly, what do we have for the week here? We have 1 toy. Now, normally when we get a pop, as you can see, these are the pops we have here. And, you know, pops are usually about like this big. Not too bad. Pretty good size. So this week we have a pop. It's How to Train Your Dragon. And, oh, wait a second. Oh, my God. Look at this monster. This is a giant toothless that we got. It's a Target exclusive. It is a beast in every shape and sense of the word. There's also a Light Fury, which I'm probably going to get later on if we can find. But this thing is massive. Again, just look at it compared to the other ones. It can eat them. So this is my toy of the week. Funko, toothless, massive. I love it. So that's what I got for this week, guys. So again, next week will be a special Captain Marvel episode. We have top 5s. We have toys. So thanks for coming. That's what I got. Wig out.